everybody. Welcome to Rain Check Live, first of many women conferences. I'm your host, Nona B. I have some lovely panelists and a keynote for you today. And just to give you a little background about myself, I worked in nonprofit social service for over 17 years. More recently, I left that field and I now work in HR. But in the middle of writing my book, and I'm actually in the first round of editing, so it'll be out soon. It's called Love Like Dynamite, and it's a story of abandonment. It talks about how I dealt with abandonment, how it affected my childhood life and spilled over into my adulthood life, and how it affected all my relationships. So I'll be excited to be sharing that with you, and hopefully you guys will be checking it out. My IG is Nona_B. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce our keynote. Candace Boney, and she's going to tell you a little bit about her story.
Hello, my name is Asset Lewis, CEO and event stylist of Elegant Access Events. We specialize in event rentals and party decor that transforms your events into an occasion. Please contact us at 917-300-8684 or at elegant-accent.com. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Candace Boney, and I'm here to talk to y'all about how I accidentally became a business owner. A little bit about me. I've been married for 26 years. I have 3 sons, adult sons. I work for Montefiore Medical Center in the Bronx, and I possess a master's degree in business administration. In 2009, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. In 2005, I'm gonna start there. I started at
Take your time.
Forgive me. I started at Our Lady of Mercy Medical Center in the Bronx. I was working as a confidential secretary, where in 5 months, the administrator and the director came up to me and asked me, why am I working there? And when they came and asked me that question, I knew what they meant. How can someone with a master's degree sit and work as a confidential secretary? I told them I needed to get my feet in the door. I knew Montefiore Medical Center was taking over, so I applied for that position. They looked at me and said, they were shaking their head, and I couldn't understand, like, why would they shake their head no? They said, we would like to offer you an IT manager's position. And I shook my head, no, yes, I would love the position. So starting at that point, I was an IT manager in the OR department. 2 years later, Montefiore took over. They said, no, we don't want you as an IT manager, we want you as a business manager at Montefiore Medical Center. But we would like you to implement software in the OR department and the materials department. I did everything I had to do, implemented everything. 2 years later, which is 2009. They came up to me, they sat me down, and they said, Candace, you did a wonderful job implementing what you had to do here. We really appreciate it, but your services is no longer needed. I took a deep breath, and I smiled, and I said, well, thank you for the opportunity. At that point, my husband and I sat down and started going through everything. Okay, let's do this business. We can sell oils, we can sell perfume. We did bags and baskets for Christmas and for Valentine's Day. I was receiving severance pay, I was receiving unemployment, and I did babysit for a young lady and brought in more money than I did when I was working. That's right. So my husband and I was like, okay, what about purchasing property? He went to the internet, found a house, 3-family house, less than $300,000. And we looked at it, we went over the comps like, okay, if we don't get a tenant, how we're gonna do this? And if we get a tenant, how we're gonna do that? And we end up purchasing. Once we put our name on the dotted line, we put that key in the door, A lady came from across the street. I've been waiting for y'all to open this place up. I want to move in next week. There goes our mortgage payment. First month's rent, last month's rent, and security. Thank you. The next month, we found a realtor who had a whole house rented within 2 months. My husband and I said, well, wow, this went really well. In 1 year, we're debt-free, we're doing what we have to do, let's get another one. So we ended up purchasing another house. Although it took a little while, 9 years later, a big corporation came out and said, we want to buy your home. My husband said, get on the internet, let's find out why they want to purchase this home. We looked, they're building this large building on our property. We'll give you X amount of thousand. And we was like, no, we want this amount of thousand. Oh, we'll give you this. They came 3 years, they kept coming back and forth. They gave us double what we paid for our home. Next thing, we're like, okay, let's move on, but we have to be smart about it. We went up to Albany where my nephew lives. He was living in a room. We found a 3-bedroom house, front yard, backyard, driveway, basement, $55,000 cash.
Wow.
I was like, what's the maintenance? No maintenance, that's it. We was like, hey, let's jump on this. Moved our nephew in. 2 months later, bought another one up the block.
That's right.
I was like, wow, everything is falling into place. This is just amazing. Then the next year, we bought 2 more. So currently, we have 7 tenants, debt-free, with 2 mortgages, and the mortgages is nothing. And it's just a blessing. You know, I sat, and when I was getting terminated from my position, laid off, you know, you take it like, oh my God, I'm laid off. I guess it was a blessing. However, they did call me back 4 months later to work at Montefiore Medical Center across the hall from where I was working. I'm currently administrative supervisor there, and everything's just going perfectly well.
Excellent.
Right.
Excellent.
Thank you, Karen, for that story. Often we worry about a job and a constant paycheck, and you are a testament that entrepreneur, if you just take a chance on yourself and you follow your gut and you believe that things will happen, it will. So thank you for sharing.
Oh, and one more thing. The business is called RPI. I have a son, Richard, Paul, and Isaiah, so it's RPI Corp.
So check out RPI Corp.
Thank you.
That's excellent.
Thank you.
And now on to our panelists. So thank you guys again for being willing to share your story.
Good afternoon. My name is Melinda Jones, and I'm an independent consultant for Paparazzi Accessories. My business is named At Your Best Jewelry, where everything I sell costs $5 plus tax, and all necklaces come with a matching pair of earrings, and everything is lead and nickel-free.
My name is Sharon Bieria. I'm from New York, New York, a native New Yorker. My parents are from New York, New York. I reside in Queens, and I grew up on the Lower East Side, and I moved to Lefrak City, where I raised my children in Lefrak City. I currently own a home in Jamaica, Queens. I'm about to retire, like next month. Thank you, thank you. I worked in the court for 32 years. I worked in the bank for 15 years prior to that. And I'm a minister. So 2019 is very significant for me because January 2019 was 20 years in ministry. So in 2019, I'm retiring. March 20th, 2019, I made 65 years old.
Wow.
So 2019 is just significant. Every day is a day to celebrate. But if I can tell you about myself, I'm a mom, I have 3 children. One of my sons, my youngest son, resides in Glory. He was killed on college campus, breaking up a fight. And I'm a widow. My husband passed away 2 days before the World Trade Center. And I preached on that Sunday. The day he died was 9/9/01. The World Trade Center was 9/11. I didn't tell a soul that he passed away the day he died. I went to church, and the pastor there, I was associate pastor at the time, he was away, and I told him that I had an urgency that I had to preach. So I'm not going to tell you that I knew it was the World Trade Center. I just knew that there was something that I had to do. Lo and behold, 2 days later, everyone who heard the sermon that was at the World Trade Center site used those words, and the sermon was "Peace be still" to bring them through. So a lot of what I have to do and what I'm going to do and what I've been doing, will continue to do, is be on the front line and persevere to turn my pain into, I use a process to turn my pain and the tragedies for a greater purpose. So though I'm standing here now, people don't look at me and know that I'm a widow or that I lost my son. But what I do with it is give God the glory, because I know without a shadow of a doubt that God created me for this, for a time such as this. So what I'm doing right now is just continuously doing what I do in the street, in the court, in the community, and in the church. I'm doing the same thing wherever I go, giving God the glory. I have a daughter. My oldest child is a daughter. She's 11 years older than my son. She is a vice principal in Harlem Zone Schools, Promise Academy, for special education and special education management. I have another son who is 8 years older than my youngest son, who was murdered, and he's a manager and a supervisor in a homeless shelter with 200 women who have abuse, mental problems. So all of my children are in the field of helping. So when people ask me, what do I think Tyshawn would have done? I said he's still doing it while he's in glory, because through us, he's helping. So I'm just here to help. God bless you.
Thank you, Sharon, for sharing the story. So here's to you for 2019, because so many amazing things are happening for you this year. And thank you for your vulnerability and transparency, for sharing your story. I know that can't possibly be an easy share, but thank you.
My name is Shelly Dillon. I am Jamaican born. I came here when I was 9 years old. I lived in Queens, New York. Mother of two, a 15-year-old and an 8-year-old. I'm also an educator. I teach 8th grade, 9th grade living environment. I'm a professional dancer, and you ask why I'm here? Well, 5 years ago, I met Rain, working down the street from Left Rack at IS 61. Ever since that day, Rain has been a really great support system for me. I live with a degenerative disorder called sickle cell thalassemia, and he's helped me work through many a days, just struggling through being a single parent, living that life with this disorder, and just being able to function as best as I can as a normal individual every day through just my life. So he asked me to come here today and just speak to you guys about what that struggle is like. That's it.
Shelly, you are amazing, and thank you for sharing about your illness. I know that. And shout out to Rain, because he's just amazing, and I kind of met him, kind of a similar story. I was teaching a training, I was working in juvenile detention. I hated my job, but Rain had got a job there, and he was part of the training, and we kind of exchanged numbers. And it was kind of at the end of me leaving the job, and I was really, really frustrated, and I was applying for other jobs, and I just wasn't getting callbacks, but he would listen, he would encourage, he would tell me not to give up, and he knew that it was something better around the corner, and it was. So thank you, Rain, for always doing what you do, for organizing this event, and just for being a friend.
Hi, my name is Dana. I'm owner and designer of Paint & Co. clothing line, various t-shirts, sweaters, hats to come. I can be reached on Instagram, Paint & Co. That's PAINE_CO.
Quala Gooden. I go by Quala because people can't say Shaquala. So I am an actress, stand-up comedian. I have teen group that I put together. Well, teen group for young women and women alike called SELF. SELF stands for self-empowered, self-love, self-first. So my journey and how I got here, simple enough. I'm from Lafayette City, Queens, and I moved to Harlem as a teenager, 17, and I met my daughter's father and ended up in a traumatic 9-year domestic violence relationship that ended with him coming to my job. I was a teacher to shoot me in the head. So you kind of grow up kind of fast after that, and what it did for me is it kind of catapulted me into never wanting to silence myself again or allow someone else to silence me. It also helped me understand that there are young women, like there's a lot of us who we come from the struggle, we grow up in the struggle, and sometimes we don't have a point of reference to turn to when we are in that struggle. And I wanted to be that for my daughter's generation. I feel like it's important to have someone to turn to have someone to look up to have someone that you can relate to and talk to. And for me, that wasn't easy then. Like, you know, you deal with a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, because you know better. But even in the process of you knowing better, it still doesn't change the fact that you socially you want to do this, you want to fit in. So for me, my mission now is to teach young women, young men, don't fit in, be you, because it may cost you your life. And that's a real important message. Like, being you is the only thing you're obligated to do. And I'm here to just keep that mission going and further it as much as I can. So that's my story.
Well, your strength is amazing, and keep doing what you do. Even just telling your story, I'm sure you have touched somebody because you've touched me. So thank you.
Baby, you know, I got to say, baby, I come here today, baby, because these people have, you know, they support me or I support them. You know what I'm saying? We don't support, and how we going to help each other, uplift each other, baby. We got to get out to where we in and go into where we at. You know what I'm saying? Baby, yeah.
My name is Imani Gooden, and Shaquala and I are actually blood sisters. I am the middle child of 5, so just imagine what that is, you know. You got the older ones, the younger ones, and then it's just me. Just confused, like, where do I go? Which way do I go? Where's my place in this world? And my parents named me Imani, and I believe they named me Imani. You guys familiar with the name Imani? It means faith. And I think they named me for them, because the things that we've been through in just my short time on this earth, it had to be faith to get us through. Honestly. I'm a singer and a songwriter, and that is just the way that I channel a lot of my energy, and it's the way I express myself. I'm also a hairstylist and a really good friend. Seriously, I'm the person everybody calls to talk to. I ground everyone. She laughs and calls me the diplomat because I'm always about like peace and stuff. Yeah. But thank you so much for having me. I, like everybody else, is here because Rain invited us. Thank you, Rain. He's been a very good friend of the family, and he's worked closely with 2 of my sisters, one who's standing out there today. Mix It a Body Products, you guys get your smell good on. And yes, thank you. I feel like this is a discussion that we all need to have, mental health and self-awareness and empowerment. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Renee Alexander Druitt, and I'm an ambassador for the Now We Know campaign. The campaign is focused on educating women everywhere about the hazardous effects that sanitary napkins and tampons are having on our bodies. I can be reached at keepingusdry@gmail.com. My name again is Michelle Renee Alexander Druitt, and this is Cherish.
Tell me about some of your biggest struggle. And we can go in any order. It doesn't have to go in the order that you guys introduce yourself.
Oh, okay.
Just
like
jump
a hot
in.
potato stick.
Tell me about your biggest Tell me about your biggest struggle. How'd you get through it?
I want to start. Biggest struggle. Jeez. Right now, in this moment, I think my biggest struggle is parenting. I have a 15-year-old son who thinks he's like 35 and just wants no guidance. He thinks he has it all under control. And then I have an 8-year-old that is like my pocketbook, but I can't do anything, go anywhere. It's one of those weird, awkward moments in my life where I question just every decision that I make, because I'm realizing more than ever at this moment in my life, every decision I make directly affects my children and how they see life and just how they view women by just watching me in my everyday movement. So I'm no longer just living for myself. And I knew that when they were 3 and 4 and 5, but at this moment where I'm seeing them really come into their own, it puts even more pressure on me as a person to just really make sure every action and every emotion even that I possess is one that I've thought out properly, because they're affected by it. That is my struggle at this moment.
Parenting is a forever struggle.
My biggest struggle currently is staying grounded and learning not to take everything to heart. I'm trying to unlearn a lot of the, conditioning. I'm trying to unlearn a lot of my own conditioning. I'm sitting here and assessing everything, like you said, wondering if you're doing the right thing, and learning how to acknowledge my triggers and whatnot. It's hard work, and I'm learning to be patient with myself in this journey. Treat myself the same way I would treat a friend. I have no patience for me. But anyone else, it's fine. I'm learning to give that to me.
Best gift you can give yourself.
My biggest struggle, like I said, I'm a pastor today. I've been in ministry for 20 years. So I really immediately take all of my struggles to God. But being transparent and letting people know, it is a struggle just being a pastor. There's a struggle, it's a struggle because everybody's gonna come to you to get the answers. So part of the struggle is that you gotta take time, and step back from the situation, but you always gotta be ready. Because the word says, be ye ready at all times. So anywhere I go, I'm ready to do what I have to do. But a lot of the struggle is that people don't understand that everybody has to continue to grow. If you don't grow, then you're stagnated. And part of my problem is that you don't really have time to grow at certain times because you're so busy trying to help other people grow. So I have to have balance and boundaries and know when to step back and to just evaluate and reevaluate myself. And a lot of my struggle is about where I came from. I said I came from the Lower East Side. I grew up in the projects. Then I moved and raised my children in Lefrak. And because I was a warden in the grand jury, so I tell people, I'll take you to Jesus, I'll take you to jail. So I'm tough in two kind of ways, if you understand what I mean. And sometimes it's a struggle of what hat I have to put on at what time. And it's a struggle because I'm a female that's in a role that is usually occupied by males. When we're talking about Rain is a son of mine. He's born on my son's birthday. We were in the hospital, him and his mother and I were in the hospital at the same time, having the children. Tyshawn and Rain has been together throughout their life. Rain was there on the college campus the night that this happened. So I got here because Rain is my child. And part of my struggle is that I'm the mother of so many children because of my son. And of course, most of them are males. And I gotta get tough with them. I gotta get straight with them. But I'm a woman. And I do a lot of funerals. And I do a lot of street ministry. And part of the struggle is talking to them on their level of where I can reach them in a street-like manner. Like, I'm here with you, I will get down with you, but still be a woman. So part of the struggle is to have that toughness, but to motivate them to a place with still have that compassion, still have that kindness, still have that love, still have that that patience, but still, if I gotta punch you in your stomach, I gotta punch you in your stomach. So that's part of the struggle, you know? Knowing when to hug them and knowing when to deck them. I gotta do that.
Struggle. For me, the struggle is I have a husband and 3 sons. And I always look up to the Lord and I say, how did you put me with all these men? Everybody knows that men and women try to get to the same point, but the man goes this way and the woman goes this way. So to me, in my lifetime with my family, it seems like everything I say is wrong. Everything. So that's really a struggle that I had to learn sometimes to just, we can't communicate right. I just gotta step back, take a deep breath, try to come back later, thinking I'm saying something different. I'm saying the same thing, so I gotta step back. I'm still trying to figure it out. But it's a blessing that I have a family like this, and we're continuing to work on our relationship. Like I said, I've been married for 26 years. I have 3 sons, 36, 26, and 24. I just have to deal with it, but I'm learning.
Candace, we gotta talk to the men in your house because women are always right. We gotta call your sons to the stage and your husband to the stage.
Tamira Ford. I'm the author of Focus My Life. This book is broken down into different areas, so you can choose what area you want to focus on and level up. For more information, you can get it at www.tmegoals.com, and you can find me on Instagram at tmegoals. Thank you.
Giving myself permission to achieve a level of greatness that I feel I deserve. When you come from nothing and you struggle through and you make it to the other side, you get there and something happens where you don't necessarily know how to function in normal because you're so used to functioning in chaos that you tend to create chaos so that you can find normalcy in it and function. I'm now learning to live in normal and accept and give myself permission to understand that that's what I deserve. I deserve happiness, I deserve normalcy, I deserve to walk in my greatness and be unapologetic about it. You know, I feel like as a woman, we are automatically given 1,000 strikes. You shouldn't say this, you shouldn't wear this, why do this, and it's like I have a daughter, my daughter's 18, she'll be 19, and I tell her every day, I don't want you to be anybody other than who you want to be. Because nobody else's requirements everybody's going to give you requirements. You have a requirement as a daughter, you have a requirement as a grandchild, you have a requirement as a friend, and nobody ever takes the time to stop and even ask if the requirements we're putting on each other, if the person's capable of it. And then when people fall short of those requirements, they feel shame, they feel guilt, and it's unfair. So for me, my biggest struggle is I literally listen, everybody I love y'all, but this is who I am. Despite of who you want me to be or who you think I am, this is who I am. And I'm learning to also tell myself that every day. This is who I am, and it's okay to be who I want to be and not feel like I have to be what everyone else needs me to be. So that's one of my biggest struggles. And in that, I'm growing, I'm learning more about myself. I'm stepping into roles that honestly I didn't even think was possible, and I'm like, okay, God, I see you. So that's honestly one of my biggest struggles.
Thank you for sharing. Next question, guys. How do you maintain inner peace, and what do you do to care for yourself? What's your self-care routine?
Well, so I'm an interesting person. A little offbeat. Like, I am always singing, even while I'm talking, like mid-conversation.
Okay, well, go ahead. Give us a list of songs.
I'll start. It started when she was a young girl. Mama died when she was young, she lost the whole world. One protector now was gone, had to make it on her own. Was left all alone. Was educated through the street life. Learned to make it through the days and all the cold nights. Bear witness to the drugs and the confines. She led a hard life.
Aisha, creator of Waist Beats for Weight Loss. You guys can be contacted at the Glamazon Aisha, my Instagram and on YouTube. And summertime is coming, so get your waist beats and keep it snatched.
All right, well, moving right along. So we all know those negative Nancy's, those people that got a problem for every solution. So next question is, how do you deal with negativity? Like, how do you deal with those people that when your vibration is here, they come in down there and they try to suck you in? What do you do? How do you avoid it?
I have a very close friend who is Negative Nancy, and every negative, I give her a positive. So let's just say, I say, oh yeah, my son just got a job doing ABC. Well, you sure he could do that? You sure somebody's not gonna kill him? You sure this is not gonna happen? And then I just flip it and go, oh, it's beautiful, he's doing this. I always, speaking to this one individual, I always have to take the negative and change it into the positive. And since the person is so close to me, I cannot not speak to that person. So throughout my life, I just have to constantly be mindful of what is being said and turn the negative into a positive.
How do I deal with negativity? I have a very sunny disposition, so when people come at me with negative energy, I normally do what you do. You know, I'll bounce my positivity off of them. But it also depends on who it is, and you have to know when your efforts are not leading to anything and to not waste your time. You know what? That's how you feel. That's fine. You're good with your thoughts. I'm still gonna. You don't have to answer to everything. You don't have to give everything your energy. Like, what is the goal of you telling me something negative? Is there a solution in that? If there's no solution, then we can move on. You know, I just think very positively, because at the end of the day, and not to sound so morbid, we're not going to make it out of this alive. You know, so we're all facing the same issues. So why am I going to spend my time being unhappy? No, I'm going to focus on the positive things like that life has to offer me, and I'm going to enjoy this present right now. And you know, if you want to be negative, that's on you. That sounds personal. That's just the way I look at it, you know. So that's how I deal with negative Nancy. I let them be negative by themselves.
I'm with you.
Yes.
I am Makita Deku, the owner and head chef of Lick Your Lips Catering. We are a New York City-based catering company that provides gourmet baked goods and savory delicious meals. We can be reached at 917-409-6025, or please check out our website, lickyourlipscatering.com. On Instagram, you can look us up at LYL Catering. Thank you, and we hope to hear from you soon.
So for me, I have my attitude sometimes go from 0 to 1,000. So for me, I'm learning to kind of perfect example, I have to be very clear with myself on my intention and who I'm coming to. Because if I know that there is a friend or an associate that is negative, I know that I have to learn to not give them anything don't empower them, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Because at the end of the day, if I know that this person is consistently negative because of whatever reason, and then I come to them looking for positivity, knowing that they're not going to give me that's a recipe for disaster. So for me now, I empower myself by I just give it to God. When I tell you I give it to God, I know He tired of me, but me and Him be up there. I'm like, listen, okay? So me and Him have conversations all the time. I mean, anywhere, everywhere. And I'm also learning to when it comes to people that are negative, I'll just tell them, and my biggest advice to them is just, whatever you're going through, find time to do, find a solution in whatever it is that's holding you back. Because at the end of the day, like my sister said, you only live once. We live our lives like we have a second life. And a lot of people don't understand that you can't hold on to anything. Because when you go, none of that stuff is coming with you. None of the monetary things, none of the attitudes, none of the stress, none of that stuff is going with you. So live the life that you're living now and empower yourself by allowing yourself the permission to be happy. You know, I realize people have a problem with being happy nowadays. We're becoming more and more desensitized, more and more negative. We're literally seeking negativity for attention. And it's just not something I want to be around. So I keep myself to myself. I keep my circle closed. And for negative Nancy's, y'all stay on that side. Yeah, that's it.
In 2007, I was in the hospital getting a blood transfusion. They had told me in the hospital, I believe I was 17 at the time, or 19, somewhere around that. Sorry, thank you. And I had no functionality from hip down. So I'm in here for about 3 weeks. They're telling me you're not dancing again. Forget about having children again. Most people with this disorder don't live past the age of 25. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, how do I get through negativity? Well, it's prayer and perspective for me. The Serenity Prayer has taken me through so many situations, just understanding there's some things I'm going to be able to change and some things I'm not, and just being okay with that, right? In addition to that, understanding that people in this world have no expectations for anyone, because everybody is going to hurt you just because we're human, and the ones that hurt you the most are usually the people that you actually let in, right? But as a person, I have to decide who's worth me going through that pain for. Some people are really worth it. Family, sometimes not, but you have to make that decision to just know who you allow yourself to go through things for and who you don't, because you said, right, you only live once. So it's prayer and perspective. That's it, just understanding everyone comes to you with things, but you don't always have to receive everything. You can give advice, but you don't have to receive it. Right?
Tracy Lynn Fashion Jewelry. You can reach us at tracylynnjewelry.net. 1004890.
I just wanted to say that Tracy Lynn Jewelry is treated with rhodium, which is the same properties that are used on platinum jewelry, high fashion jewelry. So it doesn't turn, will not tarnish. It will last you forever. As long as you take care of it, it will take care of you. Thank you.
I heard a preacher say, halt, that was Charles Stanley, and it means don't get too hungry, too angry, too lonely, or too tired. Because that's when you don't respond the right way. So what I try to do daily, even if I get 1 hour's sleep, I always, like I was saying earlier, I always go over the things, and in retrospect, look back and see where I messed up so that I can have a better day. So what keeps the negativity down for me and what keeps it low is because of the way I start my day. And then I realized that I need some re-ups along the way. So it's not just the beginning of the morning. Sometimes I gotta pause and pray and ponder and start again. So when negativity comes in my way, and like I said, I worked in court for 32 years, it's full of negativity because people are coming to court. Just by the mere fact that you come into court, you're gonna have a negative feeling. But I remain myself. The way I deal with negativity is in elevators, I say greetings and praise the Lord. And I catch people off guard because I don't want to ever be off guard. And then I realize that people that seem to be so negative, they're just looking for something positive. And it's very easy to feed into negativity. So because you see somebody look in a certain way, what I try to do is give them something different. So if I see you with a mean grill and a mean face and you just make up your mind, you have that stance like, I'm not dealing with nobody today, body language speaks loud and clear. and you'll see people in the street and they don't want to look at you, I'm the type of person that will say, greetings and praise the Lord. And then just like she responds, that's how people will respond. And they smile because they're caught off guard. Sometimes people don't do so much themselves that if you just receive, if you look at what they're doing, instead of picking it up, you give them something that they don't expect. Now, in negativity, I mean, I know that there's people who didn't want to speak to me. A lot of times they don't speak to me because, like I said, if I have something to say, it may come out straight, no chaser. And then it's the balance that I have to keep, but I'm gonna love you regardless. So there's people who don't speak to me and I would walk up to them and I don't remember. So the way to deal with negativity is to just get it off of you. So when I'm walking in the street and I'm hugging everybody and I get to that person and then you know that they don't want to hug you back, I hug them anyway and I say, oh, yo, you don't speak to me, I forgot, I'm sorry. I'm sorry because I don't remember. The way to deal with negativity for me is to get it off of me immediately. Now, I'm not saying I can do that all the time because sometimes the people that are closest to you is the one that hurt you the most. And it's kind of hard because you want to deal with that negativity. You want to tell them, you want to get that off of you in a way that you don't really want to process anything. But the way I do deal with that negativity is I step back. And if I mess up, I have to go back and say I messed up. So the best way for me to deal with negativity is each and every day to reevaluate myself again and thank God for a new day and a new opportunity to begin again. And I never want to encourage people to be discouraged. You see a lot of people who are discouraged, people will come up to them and they'll feed right into it. Like, oh, you have sickle cell, oh my God, you have sickle cell, you can't, sit down, baby. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is say to you, you know what? I know you can get up. I know today's going to be better. What can I help you do with what you're going through? And then just do it. So even in this situation where, vendors are out here and they're trying to get their business together, I bought a certain amount of money so I can support everybody. Because that's the best way that I could encourage you is to do something that's encouraging. So the best way for me to deal with negativity is for me not to encourage anybody to be discouraged. And if you bring your negativity to me, I'm going to hug you, I'm going to love you. And then sometimes, like I said, I'm going to admit that sometimes I just can't deal with it and I got to go back and pray and do everything and start all over again each and every day. But I'm just going to give you an example because I really could show you better than I could tell you. There was somebody who wasn't speaking to me. They was in school, they was sitting in the front when I got into a Bible Institute class, and the person had left the church and she wasn't speaking to me. When I got to the school, she was sitting right there. And I came in with another preacher and we weren't preachers at the time. And she said like, oh, there she goes. Like, let's go sit over here. No, I'm sitting right there and I'm sitting right next to you because you're not going to make me be who I'm not. So with negativity, I'm the thermostat, not the thermometer. I'm going to change the temperature.
That's right.
Oh, I like the song, it's a good song, man, I never heard it, but that's a good song, got me going, baby. This is Rain Check Live Production, this is Drippy, baby, and today we are in your neighborhood, and we get to know another person, so he's going to tell you a little bit about himself. So, what is your name?
My name is Brother Woke. If you ain't woke, please go to sleep and get back up and stay woke.
Oh, that's cool. You get to know his name. This is Brother Woke, and you got to stay woke. He's in the wake into the woke. Where you from?
I'm originally from Queens, but my ancestors, we from Africa.
Oh, you from Africa. What part of Africa?
Africa.
Oh, these are some nice beads.
Brother, did I ask you to touch my blessed royal beads?
Oh, what kind of beads are those?
These beads is from Africa. You don't get this whole thing? Africa. Stay woke, bro.
Okay, so,
You gotta stay woke and focused like my man Malcolm. And you see, I got my glasses because they keep me focused. Stay woke.
Okay, you focus. I see they're prescribed.
Yeah, they definitely prescribe.
Oh, they're good. It's good. I mean, he can see what he wants to see. You know, so I feel like he knows a lot. You know, so if he wants to stay woke, because me, I never sleep. He said he don't sleep, so we gonna stay up and we stay woke. You know, this is the Red Check Live production, and this is Trippy, baby.
Stay woke.
And we are in your neighborhood. If you want to come to your neighborhood, then we can do it. Okay.
Real black.
What is that?
You don't see that in Africa.
Tell me one career goal and one thing you're gonna do to reach that career goal. Sometimes we set goals for ourselves and then we overthink it or underthink it. We try to think about how can we reach this goal, and sometimes self-doubt kicks in. So tell me about a goal that you have, career goal or personal goal, and one thing that you're gonna do to reach that goal.
Well, I already spoke to y'all about my houses. Although I have all these houses, I still live in the projects. So my goal is to purchase my home this year and purchase a condo in Florida within the same year. And so far, so good.
And how are you gonna get there? What is one thing you're gonna do to get there?
Everything's in place. I'm already on it.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to sign a contract for a house in May, and then I'll work on the condo.
That's nice.
That's excellent. All of y'all are awesome and all of y'all are excellent. So if I don't get an opportunity to say it again, God bless you. I love you and I appreciate you. I'm thinking about my goals and how I'm going to get there. I'm really doing everything that I want to do, and I'm really doing it the way I want to do it. And I feel like my goal plan is in place because it wasn't really my plan. I lined up God's plan with my plan and just used my passion that He gave me, recognizing that it was already in me, that early on from the beginning, when I look back over my life and I think about the way I was and what I was doing, that it was all molding me to get to where I am today. And I just want to encourage everybody that whatever you want to do is already in you. God has already ordained it. You just got to work with it. So with that, like I said, I'm a preacher and I'm an officer. What I'm going to do now is I started a lot of ministries. A lot of things came out from my son's death. Like I said, I had to turn the pain into a purpose. So I have TAP, which is Text a Preacher. I have Queens, which is quietly understanding each emotional need spiritually. I'm out in the street with the homeless people. I also have Jing Jing Ministries, which is Jail is Not Glamorous, Jesus is Necessary, Gentlemen and Girls. I also have the Loyal Tie Foundation, which is after Ty Sean. And what I need to do now, because I am going to retire, like I said, but you never retire from service. All of those things that I've been doing, just willy-nilly doing it, I want to put it I want to put papers in order now. That's my goal, to just put papers in order and to write all the books that's in me. I don't know when, but because I have encyclopedias, but people have been telling me for years that I need to write a book, but it's so many different entities that I think what I'm going to do now is try to get other people that have this expertise on board to help me instead of me being the one that always helping others. There's other people that can do this, and I'm going to seek them out so that I can meet my goals, which is to further the things that has already begun for God's glory.
Hello everyone, my name is Jamila Hankerson and I am the owner of Mix It Up Body Products. I make body butter, sugar scrubs, and scented sea salts. You can reach me at Mix It Up BP, MIXITUPBP, at Instagram, Facebook. You can just reach me on all the social media platforms that way.
Okay, the organization I started, Lotus, Living Outside the Uniformities of Society. It was put on my spirit about 3 years ago, and I would say right now working with that is taking up the majority of my time, but I would love to see chapters open up. Like, I don't want it to just be the group that I'm working with. I want to see it expand where there's different chapters in different high schools or even colleges, just where girls are running this program on their own, but it's reaching the masses as opposed to just one school. So that's the vision that I see.
So one career goal for me would be to have my own show. I've always wanted my own show since I seen Rachel on BET. Yeah, I remember her when she was coming out the water, and I was like, ooh, that's gonna be me. But not in the way that most people would think. I want a show that just shows women that it's okay to be you. How quirky, how zany, how tomboyish, non-tomboy, whoever and whatever you are, it's okay to be you and live in that. So, and I want to see more stories about Black women in different lights. We are so colorful, and I'm tired of seeing us depicted in this narrow margin. So my goal is to create a show for me, for people like me, because we exist too.
My career goal is to not limit myself at all. To just go and to just be me. And to have that pay for my life. Yes, I am a singer and a songwriter, but that's not where the bulk of my money comes from. I'd like to be able to retire from day job and use my gift to support myself. And what I'm involved in several different projects. I am releasing an album. It's called Heart vs. Mind. I've been working on this for the past for some time. It's been a couple of years. But I believe the reason it's taken so long is because I'm telling my story, and I had to grow into it. So my career goal, going back to it, is to make sure that I'm able to tell my story and my music is out there, and that's the way I pay my bills. Yeah.
I want you ladies to give me 3 words that embody a powerful woman. So just 3 words, 3 simple words that you feel embodies a powerful woman.
Strong. Strong, beautiful, courageous.
Thank you.
Love, patience, and comfort.
Grace, did you hear me?
Faith.
And perseverance.
And if they took all your words, I'm gonna try to give some new words because
It's okay to,
all my
whatever it means.
all of, you knew that, right? Well, all of that was what I wanted to say, but I'm going to try to say 3 more. Boldness, self-esteem, God.
I say forgiving.
Mic check.
I'm sorry. Forgiving, caring, and again, I have to use the word strong.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to give my 3. I'd say vulnerability. I've learned over the years that it's a freedom in vulnerability. For a long time, I was shameful about things that my parents did. So definitely vulnerability, compassion, and self-loving.
This is Debbie Rickard at Viola's house. I don't know how to change the camera around because I don't want to see myself, but it's happening. Bye.